Like depression, when it's the difference between sadness and depression is that depression stops you from doing the thing, not only the things you love, but it stops you from functioning. Like my three failed jobs this year, that was, I don't even know if I mentioned that in my statistics, but I've had three failed jobs and they all didn't work out because of mental health. And it's failure and uncertainties in life will always be there, but seeing God's hand is also there. Down.
Nah, we're good. Unless you want a countdown. 5, 4,
We could
3,
do a
2, 1.
countdown.
5,
Oh,
4,
was
3,
that
2.
it?
Yeah, that was it. That was
I
it.
was expecting something a lot more exciting.
Sorry for the, what's it, antithesis?
The
That's it?
letdown,
Let down.
anticlimactic.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
So anyway.
What's up with your username, Hansaloof? What is that?
Oh, Hands Aloof. That's part of an artist
Aloof.
name. Yeah, you could say it, but that sounded kind of German the way you pronounced it.
Afrikaans, right? I was like,
Hansaloof.
yeah.
It sounded like whoa, I never heard it pronounced like that. But yeah, it's part of a long name, stage name that I kind of developed when I was still in university. From having had so many other names before that as a stage name, so I just decided to stitch everything together. My birth name, or one of my birth names, is Angel.
Oh yeah.
Right. So
I feel like I knew this at some point in time.
yeah. So then I used to get teased a lot. A guy named Angel. But anyway, so I turned.
I think you told me about your mother when you were telling me that story.
Yeah. So anyway, then I turned it to.
Back to me now.
It's all coming back to me now. Yeah. So then I switched it to Archangel because I thought it would be cool to be the Archangel, right? And then I realized I'm not angelic. At least I was a terror, man, as a kid. Oh, Krishna, I was such a terror. So then Archangel turned to what? Archangel Hands Aloof, read their palms, introducing Dimension the Third.
Is that a name or like the start of a new book?
I wrote a poem about that, where I was describing what the book could be if that was the title.
I don't know if you're familiar with Fall Out Boy and their songs. They just have ridiculously song title names. Song titles. It's hilarious. I love it.
But they're cool. I think they're super cool. Yeah.
Yeah, they are.
Anyway, then it became a mouthful, and I kind of like broke it down to fit in wherever and in whichever mood I was in.
Okay.
So sometimes it'll be Archangel, but most of the time it's Hands Aloof, because I realized
I'm gonna forever call it Hansaloof.
That sounds so cool. I've never heard it being pronounced like that.
That's how I always read it in my head.
Really? That's cool to hear. Yeah. But anyway, enough about me. Enough about me.
The name of a craft beer that's like chilled and you want to have it on a nice summer day, like Hansaloof.
Oh, God. So cool. Yeah. But anyway, enough about me. Let's hear about you. Just if you could give like a brief introduction of yourself, just to let the nobody's and anybody else know who you are and what it is you do.
So one thing about me, I'm deep. So when it comes to surface level stuff, there's so much going on under the surface that there's just layers. Like in Shrek, he's like, I'm like an onion. I have
like
layers.
onions. They stink? Yes. No. Oh, they make you cry? No. Oh, you leave them out in the sun, they get all brown, start sprouting little white hairs.
Formally,
no. Layers.
I've been in the Krishna conscious movement since I've been a child. Birth. My name is Radha, so that's an auspicious name. and I grew up at a temple, not like in a temple, but I grew up going to temple, going to festivals, in a very spiritual type of environment. And I went on to study a Bachelor of Science after high school. Then I did my postgrad in certificate in education. Then I taught English in Japan. So English is something I'm really passionate about. Writing, reading, I was always interested in it, and people with bad English piss me off. So
Uh,
like it's bad. I'll stop talking to you if you text me with
oh, Krishna. Yeah.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, I taught English for a while, for about a year. Now I'm looking towards becoming a lecturer because ultimately my dream was to become a teacher or share my knowledge. So
Mm-hmm.
whatever's going on up here, like whatever the layers, the depth, it's like now a pot of like stew that's just broiling, and sort of it needs to be shared with the community,
Mm-hmm.
like you can't just broil your stew and keep it to yourself when there's
Mm.
all the good stuff that's in here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I've
that's
heard
me.
that so many times. Like, share what you have.
Yeah.
But
And we have
as a
so much to
recluse,
share.
it's so difficult to do that because most of the stuff happens in here and then in this enclosed space,
Yeah.
plus like climbing over yourself to actually share and have the confidence to share. I think my life has been a perpetual cycle of switching stages and being prodded to get on the stage to do something. And then when you finally do that, it's like, ooh, I'd really like to do this regularly. And then you fall back into the cycle of being prodded. So I've always wondered, is that the life of a creative, being perpetually
I
prodded?
I don't know. I would say I've always been a creator and I've always been sharing. So I've never felt any sort of pressure to share or not share. I just do what feels right at some point in time. At whatever
Hmm.
point in time. I go with like what's in my heart. And I was speaking to my healing coach the other day, and she said your body talks to you. So between your head, your heart, and for me, my stomach, your gut, essentially, she's like,
Hmm.
check those three things. And if those three things aren't in check, then something is off. So I find that really useful to make sure that throughout you're doing the right thing at every point in life.
That's dope. I think I need one of those. Plus, I one thing that I learned the hard way is if you have something to share and the lack thereof, confidence to share, and you share in closed circles behind the curtain, then whoever is standing behind the curtain with you will go on stage and present what you have to share as their own thing,
That's so true. If you
right?
don't do it, then someone else will.
Yeah. And the worst thing is if you've shared it with that person and
Mm.
they come off stage like, good on you, mate. Keep
It's
doing
like,
what.
it's the
Yeah.
worst feeling, when you're in a social group of like friends or whatever, and someone tells a joke, but someone else says it louder and everyone
Yeah.
laughs at them. It's
Yeah.
the same thing, essentially
Yeah.
the same thing.
Oof. Yeah.
It's a terrible
Before,
feeling.
terrible, horrible. Yeah. Before I start sharing your poetry as my own, you know, because it's really, really nice poetry. I think we've come to the point where you could like read one of the poems you shared. I didn't get the title of the first one. I know the second one is,
Sure.
yeah.
I don't really title my poems, to be honest.
Really? Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
I don't. They're they are quite spontaneous. So it's not
Hmm.
thought about. It's just pure emotion. Very raw, very real,
Mm.
written from what I'm feeling at that point in time. So yeah.
I usually start like that and then title them after, unless I've been given a theme to work around.
Hmm.
Then maybe I'll.
I don't know. I never really thought about it. It's never been necessary for me.
Mm-hmm.
I've never had to present my poetry in such a way where it would require a title.
Mm.
Because it's more of
Yeah,
a story to be told, not something to be presented as per se. Like,
yeah, yeah.
mm,
Like I've admired like strong titles, I'd admit, but also
hmm.
sometimes it becomes a bit of a drab to listen to somebody explaining the title, particularly at an open mic. This
Oh yeah.
poem. You know, it's always cool to like get into it and be like, whoa, kind of.
Yes.
Yeah,
Like not be expecting anything and then like boom, you.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So you'd ask me to share the screen. Where
Yes,
did I put it?
please.
Okay, let us share. I think I may have to blow it up a bit. Let me just increase the font. What is that? Earl Grey?
It's masala chai.
Ah, I have a friend. I don't know if you ever met Brian. He visited sometime when we were in NJP, and he fell in love with Earl Grey tea.
Really? I liked Earl Grey lattes in Japan.
Uh huh. I was so
Starbucks
envious
did?
when you called and you were like, "I'm in Japan." I was like, "Ah!"
I get that reaction a lot.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to go to Japan.
Mm.
Everybody. And let me tell you, it lives up to the hype. It
Ah.
absolutely does. It's another world. I love it. I love it. I look back at my own pictures and I'm like, I also want to go back.
I
But
was so. Mm.
working there was difficult. The work-life balance, difficult. Visiting there is so much fun. Working there is a different ball game entirely.
It's a whole other ball game.
Mm.
Okay, why won't my word processor come up? Yeah, since yesterday, I was like howling in the kirtan. My voice is like,
Was
yeah,
yesterday the Kirtan Mela?
yeah, that was like so cool. I've been like cooped up in here for a while. Just
Yeah,
usually
you
here alone. And okay, for some reason, I can't share my screen. It won't let me,
can
I
I
can't
share my
find it.
screen?
Yeah, sure.
Let me see if I can get my poem up and running then.
Hmm.
Which one would you like to do first?
It's up to
The
you.
un
Use
the
the
unnamed one.
untitled one. It's pretty cool.
The untitled one. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Hmm.
thought so too because your questions were based on that one first. So
Hmm.
I was like, yeah, okay. Okay, I'm just gonna copy and paste it onto a Word doc because believe it or not, I put everything on Facebook and that's the only backup of my poetry
Oh,
and my
hectic!
writings.
I used to like
And
doing
then
that.
and then my
Hmm.
Facebook got hacked
Hectic. I used to
by an
like.
ex.
Oh, hectic. That's deep.
That I have been traumatized, my dude. Traumatized. But that's a story for another day.
I'd really like to hear that one.
No, you
Have it in
don't.
poetry form. Oh, hectic.
Maybe one day. So the way I got to the poem that I'm about to share with you all now is through my dad's Facebook because he's friends with my other account that got hacked, and I had to stalk myself like through over 100 posts to get to the post that I'm
Yeah,
about to present to you today. So thank you very much to me for finding the poem.
hectic, man. Now you got me like going back in my day and wondering, I think I've been the crazy ex at some point.
You're hacking girls.
No.
Then
My God, that look and the silence. Ooh. I think everyone has been the crazy ex at some point.
no, that's true. Everyone was toxic at some point when we were young. Some people still are. They never grow. But that's.
So are you able
Oh,
to share?
yeah. That's what I was doing. I forgot that you weren't sharing for a minute, and I also forgot that I said I'll share. So.
Or you could just read it.
Yeah, you're right. I can.
Yeah.
It's also telling me that I have to have 2 monitors and stuff like that. So I'm not
Oh,
gonna.
that's possibly the latest update on it. But I've never really had that problem.
Okay. Did you just highlight me?
Yes, I just did.
Okay. I'm fine. So, can we turn the music a little down? Thank you. Okay, here it goes. This is my untitled poem, and it starts like this. I never knew what it would be like to meet you, not sure what to expect, but I knew my heart would be content. I didn't know I'd feel such pain of being so close to you but still so far away. After so many years of separation, our reunion didn't come as fast as I'd imagined. I tried to see you, but something was not right. In my heart, there were still several battles I had to fight. Sometimes pride, sometimes lust. It was that night when I realized I was not enough. Not good enough to get you a darshan, at least not on the first try. The next day I was rejected, crying, and asking myself why, not even thinking straight, with tears running down my face. Continuously beating myself up, knowing it was my own fault that I was not enough. But again I came back to try see you, with a nervous heart and a stuttering mind. The anxiety in hoping and praying you'll let me in this time. And finally, you did. You were there, and I was broken. No words formulating in my mind, not even a single one spoken. But the tears, they came like monsoon rains, even when I thought I was done crying for the day. You surely taught me my lesson that day, and even when I forget it, those feelings come back again. Even if I tried, you'd never let me forget about you. My biggest mistake was to think I could live independently from you. Not only did you give me your darshan that day, you were solely the reason for my extended stay. You reciprocated with me almost instantly, and your mercy proved to be unlimited. During my third visit, your presence became sweeter than anything else in existence. In the same mood, I write to you now, with some of the same tears and those same feelings in my heart. It's already been a year since then. My heart is slowly beginning to mend. You piece it back together carefully and clean away the dust. In your name, I begin to trust.
I was wondering if you'd like to read both poems and then we get into the questions.
Okay, sure. Let me get the other one.
Hooty
So,
hoo.
this one is called Two Birds. It's a bit of a creative piece I wrote based on something I saw in scripture. In scripture, it was like a verse that said, um, okay, well, let me just read the poem and then we can talk about it. But it
Mhm.
is inspired from something that I read in a book.
All right.
So, two birds sitting on a tree. One eats the fruits and enjoys in material misery. The other observes and watches carefully. Two birds sitting in a tree. One realizes there's more to life than just me. It looks besides itself, and what does it see? There's another bird sitting in the same tree. Who are you? The bird asked curiously. The other bird moved closer and said, I was waiting for you to notice me. You waited all this time? I asked. Of course, he said. You don't give up on love, not even when you're dead. What love is this? I wondered. It was none that I've ever seen. Who is this bird beside me? And what does he mean? Our love is eternal, he explained. But you've forgotten me. My name is Govinda, and let me remind you of our love story. I turned to him and he embraced me. I felt his warmth and light envelop me, en- envelope me. He breathed life into me. He resuscitated me. I was living in a dead body until I awakened spiritually. He looked into my eyes and held my hand. I'll do this life with you. Does that sound like a plan? Dumbfounded, I asked, what did I do to receive this mercy? He said, you don't have to do anything for me to love you eternally. He witnessed all my wrongdoings. He's seen my worst sins. He's seen me on my darkest days. That's when I tried to run away. I'm not good enough for you. I don't think I deserve your love. But that's when a messenger came, and that special soul reminded me, you are enough. I still see his miracles happening happening daily. I don't know his plan for us, but I trust him wholeheartedly. Since then, I won't look back. Without a doubt in my heart, I know I'm on the right track. He knows I'm not perfect, but he knows I try to reciprocate his love till the day I die. That's the story of my love and I.
You know, uh, I started writing in third person at some point, and kind of removing myself from the picture,
Hmm.
and like it's been difficult to write in first person, to own the
Again,
story in a sense again.
yeah.
But I've grown to admire that, because it brings you into a situation or a position of owning the story and being present.
Hmm. Makes it
Right?
personal.
Yeah, very personal. I wonder
Yeah.
what I'd have to do. Here I am. I wonder what I'd have to do to pull myself back. Right? But yeah, that's really dope.
Yeah.
Particularly like owning certain experiences as your own kind of, your own personal journey, instead of analyzing it. I think that's what I tend to do. I analyze
You
and
think too
then,
much
yeah,
rather
remove
than
myself.
feeling.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You write with your head, not with your heart.
Well, what happens is, I've been trying to, well, not document, but quantify my creative process.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems what I do is I have that emotional rant,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then revisit it later, process it, and then also then give commentary as, I guess, Mr. Dimension the Third in the whole sentence that is the name,
Mm.
you know? And yeah, I always gets left out. At some point, actually, they became characters in my writing process. Me, myself, and I. Right? Yeah.
Interesting.
Mm. But let's get back to you. In your poem about meeting the Lord, there's a raw and deeply personal sense of longing, rejection, and eventual surrender. Could you share what real life experience or spiritual moment inspired this poem, Was there a particular encounter with the deity or moment in your journey that brought these emotions to life?
Yeah, so it was actually when I was in Vrindavan, which is the holy place of the Hare Krishnas, the spiritual pilgrimage place, and also the birthplace of Lord Krishna and his pastimes. And the specific deity that I'm referring to is Radha Raman, and this deity was manifested from basically a stone. And I like him because, well, he's the Lord of my heart, and I feel connected to him because he, his the person who was worshiping him had so much love in his heart that he was like, I want to see your form. And he showed him that he, from a rock, he showed him the form of Krishna. And I found that really amazing because he's like, Krishna, you're everywhere, right? So are you in this rock as well? And he was like, yeah, here I am. So I thought that was really cool because Krishna really listens to his devotees. He likes to please his devotees, and when his devotees reciprocate with him, that's how he reciprocates back. And so went to India in 2011, 2012 ish, and I saw the deity then, but I was very young, maybe about 10, 11, 12 years old. And I knew I liked him, but it wasn't deep. So I spent my teenagehood kind of working on myself spiritually, reading Bhagavad Gita, reading the scriptures, reading like chanting, going to temple, going to the festivals, figuring out who I am, finding myself. And eventually, I wanted to see him so badly when I came to Vrindavan. And now this was in 2019, 2021, somewhere around there, maybe 2019. And I thought like it would be so exciting, I'm gonna see this deity, and like this is my favorite deity ever, and I've like thought so much about him. I hyped myself up. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna see the deity. And then I get to Vrindavan and it's completely different. Like, you can't just see the deity. It's not gonna work like that. And that's not something I knew. I was just expecting I get to go there and take his darshan and see him. And now it's this feeling. It happened when I was in my, not a hotel room, in the apartment we were staying at, and I felt like unsettled. Like my heart was just not. I was in Vrindavan, but I wasn't happy, and it wasn't because I couldn't see him. And I remember so specifically because my friend from India, she was there and she's like, oh, I'm going to see him tonight. Are you coming with me? Can you come with me? And I was like, oh, I'm having supper with my family. So not today. And then I was like, oh, I don't think he's not even that far away from where we were staying. Like literally it's a tuk right away. And then I, the next day we go and I'm like, now feeling this hesitation, like I'm there and he's there, but something is not connecting, something's not bringing us together. I'm feeling connect like something, there's an invisible string of love between us, but it's not being pulled in from either direction. It's just there. And I didn't know what to do with this feeling because I wanted there to be action. I wanted there to be something happening, something active. So we go there the first time, and I'm turned away at the door because they said the deities aren't open. Like you can't view it. The Lord is resting. The Lord is, I don't know, having his tea time, his lunch time, whatever he was doing. And I that's when I learned like the timings for Radha Raman temple are very specific. So you'll get like a specific time when you want to see him. And then I immediately started crying. And I didn't realize all that emotion, all that like um, all those feelings were sort of pent up and building up to that one point where I'm so excited to see him and then I'm turned away immediately. It just made me very emotional. And that's when I realized, like, wow, I do have some affection. I do have some love for Krishna. And so I went the next day and oh, we were actually supposed to leave Vrindavan that somewhere around that period of time, and I was in tears because I literally came to the place where he is, but I didn't get to see him, and now you're telling me that I'm gonna leave without seeing him. And I was like, are you serious? Like, you brought me right here, but you didn't bring me like that little bit more to come and see you. I was like, no, I was, yeah. And so my parents, they extended our stay. Like, I think I mentioned in the poem, like, you're the reason for my prolonged visit, because they were like, oh yeah, and we also haven't seen Radha Raman. And I was like, yes, yes, we can stay so I can see Radha Raman. And the next time I went, I did see him because we checked, what time we can come, and we planned it specifically so we can get his darshan. And mind you, he's a tiny deity because he's from a stone, like a rock. So yeah, but he's very cute. He's the Lord of my heart. That's what happened, and then I reflected on it sometime later. But I just remember those feelings of like, wow, I'm good enough to come to Vrindavan, but I'm not good enough to see the Lord of my heart. And that was like, it meant I needed to work on myself more. I was there, but not quite there yet.
Yeah, I remember we did a drive-by darshan with Manu. We
Oh
got in a
yeah,
tuk-tuk and we went to all the seven temples.
temples.
It's
Hmm.
like drive-by darshan. We're trying to catch the times, and when we got there, you take off your shoes and you walk around. You enter from the
Yeah,
other side. Yeah.
yeah.
So, and I always knew that he was tiny, but I didn't think that he was that tiny. You know. Yeah. And we got
No,
there
people
just when.
carry binoculars to see him.
Yeah, yeah. We got there just when the curtain was about to close, and the pujari was very kind
Oh,
enough to let us have darshan. Yeah,
wow.
yeah. At some point on Facebook, I think there was a photo of him circulating where the conches were off his eyes. I don't know if you've seen that,
No, I haven't.
and his eyes just draw you in. You can actually see that you know, manifested from a stone, but you can see that there's life there. With the conches
Yeah.
off, his eyes are actually hypnotizing.
Wow. No, I've
You
never seen
know,
that.
I don't know if I downloaded it at some point. I think I might have it somewhere. But yeah, it's like really hypnotizing. They draw you in.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I like
I
his
was,
eyes, and it's a funny story how I became attracted to him because um my name is Radha Vinod from birth, like it's on my birth certificate. And it's not just a spiritual name that was given to me by some random spiritual person.
mm,
And I didn't know. I knew that there were Radha Vinod deities in Jaipur or in India somewhere, but I never saw them before. They were not like a famous. There's no famous Radha Vinod temple. There's a temple, but it's not famous or well known. But Radha Raman is famous and well known. So Radha Raman was the one I was attracted to, and it was because of his eyes. And when I saw Radha Vinod, it turns out they have almost the same eyes as Radha Raman. And I was
mm,
like, it just means that I had this connection with Radha Vinod the whole time. But because I didn't know them or didn't get their darshan, I was
mm,
attracted to Radha Raman. So
mm.
yeah, thought that was pretty cool.
So when you got to finally have darshan and you were walking out, do you remember how you felt at that moment?
Oh no, I was a mess. I was just crying
Mm.
a lot because I was like,
Oh, Krishna.
yeah.
Yeah.
In the poem, I was like, I couldn't even I you know, you could plan so much to say, but when you're there in that moment, it's like everything, you go speechless. And for me to
Mm,
go speechless, like, I'm a talker, I'm a writer, I'm a
mm,
creator.
mm,
So when
mm.
someone makes me speechless, uh it's meaningful, to say the least.
Yeah, the birth of the poem
Mm,
required speechlessness.
yeah.
Mm, mm. Our second question. Your writing carries a devotional honesty that feels both intimate and universal. How did poetry become your chosen medium for expressing your relationship with Krishna? Do your poems come as reflections after spiritual experiences, or do they emerge spontaneously during moments of realization?
We're gonna have to go one question at a time because by the end of the last question, I already forgot the first question.
Okay, first part of the question. Uh, do I should I reread it?
Don't reread it, just read the question part.
Okay. How did poetry become your chosen medium for expressing your
Expressing, okay.
relationship with Krishna?
Right. So I actually was encouraged to write poetry in matric in high school, which was about 10 years, 9, 10 years ago now. And the first thing that my first ever poem that I wrote and recorded and said was about Yamuna Devi and how the lamps just like float along the river while the sun sets. It was like a beautiful descriptive little poem. And I always in high school, they used to make you do that paper three and that they make you write essays. And I was always a descriptive essay writer. So that was kind of like describing and invoking feeling in someone is how I like to write. So I started writing poetry in matric when they said, okay, like write poetry for school reasons and present it. And it could be on any topic. So I made it spiritual. And I was like, okay, this is actually nice. And it then turned out that it made sense. It started making sense that poetry is my expression for Krishna because I, my love language is words of affirmation. Not entirely, but mostly. And a lot of people say that they rely on actions more than words. But for me, when it comes to spiritual, um, with devotional service, sometimes it's like I feel so much in my heart for Krishna, but I'm too, like, when it comes to my bad mental health days, so I'll be in bed and I'll be sleeping and I'll be too depressed to get out of bed. But in my heart, I'm like, I really want to chant today, Krishna. Like I'm so I have so much feeling for you, but I can't do it right now. So for me, actions are sometimes not always possible. But what's in my heart and what is in my head, my actions, my thoughts, my prayers, my feelings, that's the only thing I could deliver to you at this point in time because I'm physically incapable otherwise. And I think that shows like I take it much more deeper than actions because words and intentions and emotions, you could do something without having the heart behind it. And I would prefer you have the heart and the intention behind it rather than just doing it causelessly or aimlessly. So that's why I like words as a form of expression in general, not just to Krishna, but in general and to Krishna. And yeah, that's how I started. I started writing in high school, and it just picked up from there. And yeah,
Mm. One judge, I forgot his name, he said, words are skins of living thoughts. And I always thought that, oh, that's really cool. That sounds cool. Oh,
can
I
you say
forgot
that
his name.
again?
Words are skins of living thoughts.
Wow,
I was like, oh, that's pretty cool.
that's
But
interesting. That's an
now
interesting.
I'm getting like a creepy vibe, creepy
No,
visuals
no, me too. That's why I was like,
creepy visuals of I don't know, maybe Hannibal, Doctor Hannibal Lecter, his stretched out skins of living thoughts.
oh my
Oh my,
gosh.
wear your skin as a hat.
Ew.
Yeah. Anyway, do your poems come as reflections after spiritual experiences, or do they emerge spontaneously during moments of realization?
So I would say it's definitely more spontaneous based on what I feel. I think that's why you said that my poems feel honest and raw and like heartfelt. It's because I write in the moment that I feel, and I don't edit it. I don't like it
Mm,
doesn't go through a like what you said, you it doesn't go through writing of a purport and then like um,
mm,
commentary on top of the purport and layers.
mm,
There's no process. It's just straight from my heart, and I think that's the best way to do it, because that's how you get someone to feel what you're
mm.
feeling. When you speak
Ah,
honestly about what you're feeling, they feel the same way.
yeah, that's pretty
Yeah.
dope. A friend of mine once said he's also a poet, creative. He's like, he was reading some of my work and he's like, you are hiding yourself in under so many layers that it would take somebody to actually dissect this to find you. You know?
Yeah.
And I was like, hmm, I guess I'm doing that.
Why do you do that?
I really don't know. I think I've been um
Exposing
afraid
yourself,
to expose myself.
vulnerability.
Yeah, and vulnerability is a superpower.
I think that's
Yeah.
my superpower.
Mm.
I like to
Yeah.
share. I'm not afraid of it, like telling anyone anything, which can work in my which can be a disadvantage. Um,
Mm.
but I generally don't take too much care into what other people think. It's about how I make them feel. That's how I like to leave an impression on people. It's not about what
Mm.
you say to them, it's not what you do with them, it's how you make them feel.
Mm. Like I think to come out and be like I am a grain of sand, as dull and as plain as can be, or as the beach can be, to come out and say it to somebody like that, for me, has always been something very guarded, such that if you were to look at that grain of sand under a microscope and start seeing the colors and how pretty it is,
Hmm.
then zoom out again and just see the ocean, kind of thing. There's always been a secret in my own space that is reserved for the most intimate of exchanges. And as intimate
Mm.
as poetry can be, I think then for you to see that I am indeed a grain of sand, you'd have to go through the colors to define it for yourself, to be like, oh, so, you know? So
Mm.
I guess that's
You
where the
want to
fun.
take, yeah, the
Yeah,
fun. You want to take your followers on some kind of journey before they get to the real you
yeah. And so
or
that
your
when they
real
like,
essence.
yeah, so when they're like, oh, he's just a grain of sand, then you'll be like, oh, but that was so fun, such a journey kind of thing, you
Mm.
know? Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
Mm. Our third question. Both poems explore an inner conversation between the soul and the divine, one through the vulnerability of darshan, and the other through the two birds allegory. How do you experience this dialogue in your daily spiritual life, and how does writing help you process it?
So I actually didn't realize that this parallel that you've noticed in the two poems, like it's obvious in Two Birds, but it's not so obvious in the first one about Radha Raman, because I didn't think it the relationship with Krishna to me is so real. It's not even like it's me, the soul, and him, the supreme. It's just like my bruh, yeah, someone I know, and I'm writing about him. And so it's interesting that you did come across this parallel. With regards to how I see this inner dialogue in my life or use it, I feel like there's a constant conversation happening between me and Krishna. And this is something that I've thought about a lot, because it's like I might not chant 16 rounds a day, I might not even chant 1 round a day. But am I thinking about Krishna? Am I remembering Krishna? Yes. I'm like, Krishna, you know, I can't commit suicide today because this food is so salty, and I thought about drowning myself in the ocean, and I wouldn't like the taste of the ocean.
Mm,
Like, that's just a random thought. But
mm,
like, when it comes to things about life, I'm like, Krishna, I'm really having a bad day. Krishna, this was such a good day. Can I have another good day like this tomorrow? That was what I was saying last night. I was like, Krishna, I did good today. He's like, he's there for me. He's We think we're alone, but we're not alone. And I feel more connected to him in my head and heart than I do to the deity form, which is sitting right beside me, like I'm in my prayer room right now. And
mm,
um the super soul really guides you in, like, through your gut, through your intuition, through your intelligence, and I really like to take that. And also, I would like to take it seriously when I hear from senior devotees, because whatever messages the people try to tell you, I feel like it comes from above. Like, whatever people say to you, you're meant to hear it for some reason or the other. Some
mm,
people, you can determine whether it's good or bad, but most of the time when it comes to the good stuff, it's like, yeah,
mm,
I'll take that as divine intervention, because not intervention, but divine message,
mm,
especially if it comes from like a spiritual master who is known as like the representative of the supreme. Those words are coming straight from Krishna himself, I believe.
mm, mm,
Because there was this one instance where I told my previous guru, who has now left his body, I was on a Zoom call with him with some other devotees, and he told me that um, when Krishna hears that I'm chanting, because I told you I have so much difficulty with chanting and being depressed, I have so much difficulty with chanting. So he said, when Krishna hears you chanting, he's going to have tears in his eyes. And I was like, wow, that's so. He knows Krishna. Like, this guy's so clearly connected. And that was
mm.
so heartfelt. That was so touching. Krishna consciousness is so personal. And that's what I love about it. So, yeah. What was the question?
I don't think it matters after that padam dishu. I think it's pretty cool. Because I was just thinking, like, it's an affirmation of a continuous thought that I've been having around accessing the divine ethereal space behind the grossness of the whole experience and being
Yeah.
present for that. I also saw this, like, um, we were walking in Soweto just recently, 2026, the Rath Yatra,
Rath
right?
Yatra, yes.
Yeah. So I got there a little just about when the procession was starting. So I dropped Manu off at the corner where the cart was, and I drove back to go park the van in the yard. And at the same time, Godbrother and his family just came in, and they were getting the kids out of the car and all of that, preparing to go. And I was like, "Yeah, the chariot is just here. We'll make it." And I'm busy scoffing down some brownies because I was hungry. But anyway, we finally get there, and there's no one. Everybody's gone. Like, I'm telling you, like, just minutes ago, there was a large crowd there. The police, traffic jam, the cart, kirtan,
What?
And when we were there, we could hear the kirtan. They're like, "Oh, okay, yeah, they really just here." We turn the corner, they're gone. So now we're chasing the cart and we're asking randos on the street, where the devotees? Did you see the devotees? Yeah, they went that way. Yeah, they went that way. Yeah, they turned here. And then we turn the corner and I'm like, oh, there's the chariot. I could see, like, the colors beneath a taxi that
Yes.
was ahead. Oh, they're just right up there. We get to a corner, we stand there, but they're not here anymore. And then some random guy comes out of his yard. He's like, they turned this way. And I'm like, oh, cool. Do you want to come along? There's a feast now. I have my family. And for some reason, I kept on thinking, wow, this is where
A
we're in
goose
this,
chase.
a goose chase, but a transcendental one.
Yeah.
Because I started thinking, is this what it's like to make your way back to the spiritual world, meeting all these random
Oh.
people? Go this way, turn this way. they're just ahead. Don't give up. They're just ahead,
That's so
and,
deep.
and then crumbs along the way. Some homeless guy sitting there reading on the way to Krishna, you know.
Oh, that's so cool.
And then some really dodgy guys coming back behind us. They're like, "So you guys know where you're going?" I'm like, "Yeah, we're going to the hall. Just do you know where the hall is? Yeah, come through. There's this beside me, you know." And then they turned back around. They went back, And I'm just thinking, whoa, this must be what it's like to try and make your way back to the spiritual world. You have to chase the chariot. You know? Similarly,
Jagannath was playing games with you.
In the middle of the kirtan yesterday, I was like, whoa, this is so transcendental, so nice, and then everybody's jumping around, and when they land, you start seeing, Shushri Nitai Gora Hari there, like, oh, wow, this is so beautiful, kind of thing. So yeah, that really resonates with me. I can relate. It's a dope point, dope realization. Fourth question.
Man, I'm glad we're recording this because I definitely have to write about that later, but I don't remember what I said.
Cool. Yeah, that would be cool to hear. I'm looking forward to what you write. The two birds piece beautifully parallels Mukunda's.
I'm so sorry. Can you go back to the previous question, because I feel like there was something else that was there.
Oh, something else there. How do you experience this dialogue in your daily spiritual life, and how does writing help you process it?
Oh, the writing part. I did want to mention this. So this book, my diary, it says one day at a time, because one day at a time. So I actually started it when I was in Japan, and I was like, this is my japa journal. I'm going to write down my little, and because my relationship with japa, or the chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, is so complex, I like to write my intention and like an intentional prayer before I start my chanting. And if I'm chanting a lot, I'll go back to it and remind myself of this prayer to keep me focused. So every time I chant, I write it in this book. Then it's become my journal. And every time I've been writing those little intentional prayers, I started off with Dear Krishna. So in my writing, that's how I maintain that dialogue. Because it's a conversation at the end of the day. Japa is a conversation between you and the Supreme Lord. And you're calling him and you're telling him these things. And sometimes it's like you're sitting with your best friend and you're just telling them about your life. And it's like, it's just a nice conversation to have. So yeah, that's how I keep it in my diary. It's like Dear Krishna. Every time I start, it's Dear Krishna from Radha. Like, cute.
I really appreciate that, because one of the last conversations I had with Kadamba Kanan Maharaj was about how I want my poems to become prayers. That's a really dope approach. I think I might just borrow that and try it in my day-to-day. Yeah, that's really
I would recommend writing to your Ishtadev, the Lord of your heart. Like, so whoever you feel most connected to, like Jagannath, Radhanath, I don't know, Nisai Gaur, Hari.
Ooh, that just might be the thing. Because I realized yesterday when we were having the kirtan, because I lived in Shushri Nitai Gaur Hari in Lens.
Yeah.
I moved in there just after a really super traumatic experience, my mom's murder.
Oh, yes.
And I didn't tell anybody. Nobody knew what was going on. I just moved in there and basically hid from the world, And at that time, I started having these dreams about them coming off the altar,
Yeah?
Yeah. I remember one was like...
They were there for you.
Yeah, they came off the altar and we were going out on Harinam. It was so... And some of the music I made while I was living there, if you had asked me how, I wouldn't even be able to explain. I listened and I'm like, what is this?
It's like you don't even remember making it. Like, what? Where did it come from?
I was just pouring my heart out. I couldn't articulate what I was going through. I didn't even
Yeah.
want to face it in that sense, you know.
Mm.
And at the same time, while I was hiding in the temple, I received news that my best friend had just died, like maybe like a month after, you know.
Oh
So
my
there
goodness,
as
I'm
well.
so
So I
sorry.
that just like
That's
drew
a
me
lot.
in. Yeah, yeah. It was like quite a bit to go through.
I think that's
Uh
quite a difference, a contrast I'm noticing between you and I. Like when something happens to you, you like to close yourself off from the world and like go inside your head. And for me, I'm like, I can't handle the world inside my head and I have to go out because
mm,
the world inside my head is scarier than the one that's out here.
mm, wow. Never thought of it like that. I actually wrote a poem and was like something about never mind reality and stuff like that. I choose to live in my head. Something was like my mind's a metaphor, strapped and enticing like straitjackets in a room with no bed. I'm like F reality and stuff like that. I choose to live in my head. You know, I didn't realize how it was like actual, how true it was. Yeah, I
No,
guess
the
that's
mind
where
is a scary place. My mind can be a scary place.
and then another contrasting line. Oh, the mind, oh, the mountains of the mind have cliffs of ill perfection. You know, they just fall off the edge. Oh my god. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, and also a clip I came across. Keshava Swami is like, "You're not the mind." He's just breaking down the whole thing, like the mind is a tool and etc. I appreciated
Mm.
that clip as well. Okay, we're like
So, yeah.
yeah, I was just about to, we're almost an hour in, and I'm
Oh my
thinking
word. But that's because we started recording early.
I did. Oh
Yeah.
yes, I did, because I didn't want to lose the banter. I like that. Like just before pressing the record button, I don't know if I think I'm starting to ease into the idea of the record button because
Oh, okay.
tend to get tongue tied. Particularly like this has always been a problem having had studio experience and all of that. When you write something and you recite it and the record button isn't on, you go through the dopeness of it and it
Oh.
all like shines. And then when the mic is here and the record button is like ding ding, you know, then you
Mm.
start thinking about what it is you're saying or recording, and then you just make so many mistakes. But then when the mic is off, you could just recite whatever it is freely and play around with it.
Yeah.
I guess
I don't have that. I don't,
uh
yeah.
that's cool because I
I
think
have no
it
filter. I told you, I can tell anyone anything, mic
no,
or no
that's really
mic.
cool. That's really cool
I'm
because
really
I think
open.
I think it has to do with commit. I think also being a perfectionist kind of thing.
I'm a perfectionist.
Huh? I, I that perfectionism is crippling.
It is. It is
Yeah,
actually. And I'm an all or nothing person.
yeah.
So I'm either all out or all in. And my spiritual master said, my living spiritual master now, he said that it's because I'm a perfectionist. I can either do it 100% or not do it at all. Like
Mm,
if I think that I'm not even confident 1%, then I'm not going to give it my 100.
mm. I got like so much work that's stuck in my machines here, these computers. That I need to just get over myself and release it. Particularly the musical works.
Hmm.
You know, just get over yourself and put it out there, and move on to the next thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, talking about moving on to the next thing, our fourth question. Excuse me. Two birds piece beautifully parallels the Mukunda Upanishad's metaphor of two birds on a tree, one observing and one eating.
Hmm.
Were you consciously drawing from this imagery, and how has your study or understanding of Vedic philosophy shaped your creative voice and worldview?
So I recall telling you that when I was in high school, I used to write highly descriptive essays, and I love the idea of creating an image in the mind. So taking something that's I can see and making you see it through writing is the coolest thing ever for me. And I think it's a real talent that I would like to hone in on. And that's what I would say about um, the scholarly part of it. It was definitely a conscious meditation, I would say, on maybe the conversation that would happen between these two birds when one realizes the other is sitting next to him and watching him enjoy. And yeah, I don't actually know. There was no inspiration for it per se. It was just I thought it was a nice visual image that was created in my head, and I wanted to share more of it with the world. And what was the second part of the question?
How has Vedic knowledge shaped your worldview? Vedic
Yeah,
philosophy, basically.
so when it comes to my writing and my worldview, I don't think that being a scholar has anything to do with how you feel about the Lord. Because at the end of the day, I've just come to realize that Krishna consciousness is about bhakti, and bhakti is an affair of the heart. It's how you feel. It's not, it all comes down to love of God at the end of the day. And
Mm,
I no scripture can tell you how to do that, but it has to come from the heart. Like it reminds me of this one story that I heard. There was a poor beggar or someone on the side of the street, and he was blind, but he was reading the Bhagavad Gita. He had the Bhagavad Gita in front of him, and he was crying and crying and crying. And then I think Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, or maybe some scholarly advanced Vaishnav devotee, came to him and said, why are you like so many people criticized him? They said, why are you being stupid? You know, you're blind. Obviously, you can't read the book. But this devotee, he said, oh, continue reading. I'm so glad you're reading the book because you understand it. You understand that crying, that emotion, that's what Krishna wants. He wants our love at the end of the day. So that's what I've learned from my Vedic understanding, from my Vedic philosophy, from my Vedic upbringing, I can say that it's all love at the end of the day.
mm. It's all love at the end of the day. It's all love. That all sounds like somebody just punched you in the face and they're like, it's all love. It's all love. Yeah.
Depends what world you're living in.
Which
I'm not. I'm
pocket?
not. I'm not currently living in a situation where someone's gonna punch me in the face.
Knocks you up. Boof. Hey, that slapstick comedy. I grew up with crazy friends, man. Somebody who just, knock you or do something and then slapstick comedy and then it's all love. And it burnt my eyelashes out. And then
Oh my gosh!
it's all love. Yeah. Our fifth question.
All is fair in love and war.
Yeah, it's a battlefield out there. Um, in your first poem, there's a recurring theme of feeling not enough before eventually realizing Krishna's unconditional love. Many seekers experience this struggle. How has your personal understanding of mercy evolved, and how do you overcome moments of spiritual self doubt?
I had this conversation with my guru, and actually, I'd like to read it because this I was trying to summarize it in some way before we had this conversation, before you and I had this conversation, and I was like, there's no way for me to say what he said. So let me just say it. So I asked him, like, why does Krishna love me? And this is one of the doubts that I faced a lot. And it comes from the fact that I don't love myself. And so I asked him, why does Krishna love me? And he said, he doesn't know how not to love. That's Krishna. And I said, yeah, but we're flawed by nature and we do bad things. And he says, he only sees the good and you focus on your bad. And I was like, wow, okay. And he goes on to say, so if you don't love yourself, imagine you can't imagine someone else loving you because you don't see yourself as lovable. And the problem is thinking that you are bad and judging yourself for not being perfect. So the perfectionism thing comes in here as well. So if there's, he says, he goes on to say, if there's no self judgment, then you won't have a problem accepting Krishna's love. So the fact is that we're hard on ourselves at the end of the day. And um, he then asks the question, when will you be good enough to accept yourself? Probably never. But being good is not a criteria for self acceptance. And the criteria for self acceptance is to love yourself purely on the basis that Krishna loves you. What do
Wow.
you think of that?
That shatters the ceiling.
Yeah, like he's like saying you don't need to do anything to qualify yourself for his love. Your only job is to love him back. He's already done his job.
Mm.
I thought that
Oh,
was
that
quite profound.
yeah, it does. It is, and it draws you out. It like puts you right in your own face.
Hmm.
It's almost like saying you exist. You know. Uh,
Sometimes I have that
mm,
realization and it's weird, right? Like, I didn't think I'd make it this long,
mm,
but
mm.
here I am. I
I'm,
exist.
s- yeah, I'm still here.
I'm still
Ooh,
here.
I started a poem with that line. I'm still here. Something about Timingila-sized desires. I wonder where that poem is. It's just random things everywhere. Hmm. Wow, yeah, that draws you out. It puts you right into
Hmm.
your own face. Yeah,
Yeah. So that's my response to that question,
mm,
if it answers it.
it does fully.
Hmm.
So I wanted to go to your blog. Uh, the platform itself, it had me like thinking about it.
Hmm.
Chantnow.com. Yeah, but for
It's not
some
active
reason,
anymore.
yeah, what Chant Now is not active anymore?
No, not that I know
Oh yeah,
of.
I remember you posting something about that. That's probably why I couldn't access it. I was like, but the page is
Oh,
still there.
really? But I
Yeah.
was able to access it on my phone when I last checked. I'm
No,
able
I
to
tried
access all my.
to get in. Actually, I got a warning, something about it being unsafe or something.
Oh, no, that's
Yeah.
weird because I was able to access it on my phone without like any problems and on my computer.
Hmm. It
Yeah,
wouldn't
I
let me
used to
get
write
in.
for them.
So what that would I was even thinking of possibly writing a story about them because I was thinking this is a pretty dope platform.
Oh, yeah, but it's not active anymore, so I don't know if it's worth writing about.
Why? What happened?
Um, they stopped creating content and then just sort of went downhill from there.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think
I
I can
don't
get them.
I don't know too much about the details of it and the ex that hacked my Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp, Gmail, everything. He was a part of that. He got me involved in that, so it's not something
Hmm.
I would want to go back to anyway.
Guerrilla warfare, tunnels and all. Vietnam, Viet Cong. Yeah. Hectic, man. I just had Marlon Brando in my mind when I said that. Like, I don't know if you remember what was that movie he was in? Like, what was that movie about the Vietnam War? He was almost losing his mind as a soldier, and ultimately they find him, and he's like, now the music is coming, and the name of the movie is not coming. Very famous movie. Anyway, mm, uh, your
Do we
poems
have
feel
any more
like,
questions? This is the
yes,
last one.
yeah. Your poems feel like journal entries. Well, you basically just said
Yeah.
from the heart, unfiltered and sincere. What does your writing process look like? Do you set aside time for reflection and composition, or do these pieces arise naturally during moments of emotion or prayer? But I was just thinking about how you were saying just before japa, intentional prayers jotted down.
Hmm.
Do you then like piece them together or expand?
It's like journal entries, every day a different prayer.
Hmm. Do you revisit
And
them
it's
and
not even,
expand, or? Uh,
oh, I never really do, but there's one particular entry after this is very vulnerable of me to share, and I didn't want this to become about mental health. But October is mental health month, so I am going to be vulnerable and share. I came back, I'll share it with you actually. I came back to this one journal entry. Now, when I write, I don't generally go back to it unless I'm going to present it to someone else like you. Otherwise, I don't even remember what I wrote. It was in the moment. I went through the moment. I wrote about the moment and I moved on. But
mm,
this one, it was quite something because the other night, the night before I wrote this, I took a number of tablets and I tried to overdose. It was not enough, nothing
mm,
too hectic. I woke up the next day and I was like, oh, I'm alive? Like,
mm,
what even? And I told my parents and I got help and stuff, and now my medication is locked up forever. And it's dispensed to me like I live in a pharmacy and my parents have to give me my medication at a certain time. I am a 26-year-old child. But what I go back to is what I wrote on that day. And um it was so potent that like it makes me feel so grateful that I'm still here, that I woke up that day. Because I said, dear, not even Krishna, I told you it's dear Krishna usually, but it says, dear whoever the hell is out there, I feel like I'm drowning and screaming but no one can hear me. I don't know how to go on anymore. And I like the fact that I still came to dear someone and I'm screaming out to the universe, like, Krishna, if it's you, help me. Like, I don't know if it's you. If it's not you, can someone help me? Because I'm screaming and I'm drowning and I don't know who to go to. But I'm coming here anyway. And I came here and I have it written down. Like, I think that's amazing that in that time of struggle, I was still able to connect to Krishna somehow, even though it was in the form of dear whoever the hell is out there. I'm taking that as my Krishna, and he saved me.
back to the altar. You know,
Yeah.
I was thinking like we can never really leave the altar. Actually, recently we were down in KZN, and I had the blessing and opportunity, if not fortune, to present the Bhakti Vedanta Swami lecture. This for the
Hmm.
BBT Africa, and
Wow.
I was like, wow, all the way through and freaking out, losing sleep over it. And the paper was about the USDG UN goals 2030.
Oh, was it
Yeah.
the one at Westville? The
Yes.
sustainability?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Oh, I didn't know you were there. I wanted to
Yeah.
go for that.
Yeah, it was pretty fun and an eye opener. It had me like thinking of becoming an academic. But yeah. But anyway, so my paper was autoethnographic, basically because I'm not in the academic field. It was almost like telling from personal lived experiences,
Mm-hmm.
and the title was "Searching for Vedic Africa," and I was like unpacking how Dharma can be, the answer to these problems, peace,
Hmm.
inclusive living, basically inclusive,
Mm-hmm.
sustainable living. And I superimposed Dharma over Ubuntu, looking at how it's being
Oh,
hollowed out, because
nice.
everybody's just Ubuntu this and Ubuntu that. So it's like, but what is it really? What does it mean to be Ubuntu, Ubuntu, and all of that? And through researching, and because I've been reading comparatively Credo Muthu's books and other,
Oh,
uh,
I know Credo. He's the guy who
yeah,
ate a hand.
yeah,
The traditional African healer who
yeah.
got sick and he was brought to KZN with his uncle. Yeah,
Mm, mm. And then
I'm
after that,
familiar.
he was a librarian before that, like a all that, and then after that, he became a healer.
Hmm.
So then, historian actually. So then after that, I've been like reading it comparatively, particularly in Daba My Children, and I came to the conclusion that this is actually a story of Prajapatis. It's the migratory history of the Bantu, and it starts with the creation myth or creation story. And I'm like, wait a minute, when you read it comparatively, it becomes a story of Prajapatis coming all the
Tell
way
me
down.
more. Do we have
That's a
time?
whole other thing. It's a whole other thing, right? So I've just been building on this, and then quantifying and qualifying Ubuntu as a spiritual culture and not just a presentation of moral and ethical precepts or whatever, and how in the corporate world it's kind of now become a hollowed out calabash that's been passed around as the collection basket. so so I wanted to expand on it from uh, Dharma, Vedic, inclusive, universal teachings, and to prove that it's actually a spiritual culture, a spiritual tradition. And then I realized that as a communal philosophy, it exists amongst the people who are working the land, you know, and how we then commune around the land, then the land becomes the altar, you know. And now that the people have been removed from the land, are they actually Bantu or just Bantu by name? Because now the spiritual practice that is built around the land has been interfered with in that sense of being
Mm.
removed from the land. And then I was like, then maybe perhaps the land then becomes the urban scape, or the ethereal feast that we've been invited to, which is largely extractive in a sense and doesn't have the same, you'd say,
I feel like we need
peggings.
to have a separate discussion on this.
Yes, we do. Yes,
Hmm.
because I'm trying to like now speak in a way that it makes sense. I
Yeah.
rant about it a lot. I'll tell you
I can tell. I can
that.
tell.
Yeah, I do. Uh, but I'd really like to share sometime. Yeah, but our seventh question. But yeah, I like that. That note you wrote to yourself, it pulls you back or brings you back to the altar.
Yes.
And yeah, I really love that. Mm.
It's that I wrote it in hopes that someone would see it, someone would hear it, someone out there would get it, and they did.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah. So that's what's. You asked me what gives me faith. Oh, I think you're about to ask what gives me faith, and I'm like
Yeah.
that. A lot of things, but that. Yeah.
Mm. Okay, for the sake of continuity and structure, I'll just read the question so that you can get
Yeah.
into it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Both poems end on a note of trust and renewal. In your name, I begin to trust. And I know I'm on the right track. How do you sustain that faith through life's uncertainties? And looking ahead, what do you hope your readers or listeners take away from your poetry and spiritual journey?
I feel like in all your questions, there's like three questions within a single question, and I'm really struggling with that. Can you not do that to me next time?
There's so much. I realize like so much gets lost that I always want to have these compounding or compounded questions so that I can capture as much as I can,
No, it's fine.
Mm,
But like,
mm,
I can't keep track of them, so you have to keep repeating them. But
mm.
what was the first question?
How do you sustain that faith through life's
Okay.
uncertainties?
So I actually was going to make a video about this. So do follow up on that. And I feel that through life's uncertainties, faith is one of my strong points because I have a good background of spiritual knowledge. And you might ask, like, oh, if someone has a strong background of spiritual knowledge, is why would they want to commit suicide? Like when they know what's going to happen to their soul after and stuff like that. And it's like I'm too much of a feely person. I do what I feel. And if I feel like I want to kill myself, then I will kill myself. But I don't want to talk about that because yeah. But when it comes to things like that, it's this letter that I look back at and I think about. Like I when I felt like I'm screaming and no one could hear me, I turned to the universe and the universe heard me. And I had a near death experience this year when in the same in the same frame of overdose, and I ended up in ICU in critical condition in the heart hospital, in the heart ward of the hospital, and my heart and lungs were affected and stuff. And that was this year. So this year I have, let me just give you like a summary of my 2025 because it's been a wild ride. Now this summary is not meant to be negative or positive. It's just like statistics of the year. So I've had 4 hospital visits, with my fifth one being on Monday to extract my wisdoms. The 4 other ones were mental slash physical for the ICU. And I've had 3 failed jobs, 1 failed relationship, and 1 failed friendship. And I struggle a lot to get through these things. But I know at the end of the day that if I can see Krishna's hand in it, then it's okay. Because a lot of people um, used to ask, well, paraphrasing what my guru said, the one who left his body. He said that a lot of people ask him, have you ever seen God? Do you see God? And he said, no, but I see God's hand in my life. And that's how I keep my faith because I'm always able to see God's hand in my life. Like the night that I decided to overdose, it was at 2 o'clock in the morning. If my parents didn't find me by 8 o'clock, if they left me to sleep till midday like they normally do, if they left me even a little while longer, I would have been gone. Um, the second time and 2 suicide attempts. The second time that I tried to commit suicide, I just overdosed and I woke up the next morning like everything was okay. That was the weirdest thing for me. Like, how that wasn't supposed to happen, but it happened. And I didn't have to, and we dealt with it in a good way. Like, I didn't have to go into hospital again and like recover. I built up from there. And sometimes it's just about taking things one day at a time. And it's also about having that continuous conversation with Krishna in your head, because like I said, my mental health is so bad. I can't chant, I can't go to temple, I can't do a lot of things that I would have loved to do if I was like an active devotee, an active um, person. But I'm highly dysfunctional when it comes to, that's what it is, like depression. When it's the difference between sadness and depression is that depression stops you from doing the thing, not only the things you loved, but it stops you from functioning. Like my 3 failed jobs this year, that was, I don't even know if I mentioned that in my statistics, but I've had 3 failed jobs and they all didn't work out because of mental health. And it's just, it's failure and uncertainties in life will always be there, but seeing God's hand is also there. And I'm not saying be grateful for what you have, be grateful for what you don't have. I'm saying see it as what it is and that you're in a position of mercy either way.
Mm. Yeah. That's really powerful. And to see you on the other side of it, that's also encouraging and empowering at the same time.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm a
sure that,
survivor.
yeah. And hectic. Why did you do that? Now Beyonce is in my head. Right?
I'm a
Yeah.
survivor. I'm gonna get.
Yeah. Yeah. I was just thinking though, some of us suffer in silence and we don't process what we're going through, and to have people like yourself to actually own it and wear it on your shoulders like that is empowering. I
Hmm.
remember, I think uh this is now second time I was having a breakdown as well. um I wrote a poem about that, and it starts like, where have you gone, watching consciously as the deep details of delirium take to your effect, a scene of nature's dense reality happening right before you, right? Because it's so dense and
Mm.
it's right here, you know.
It's like palpable.
Mm, mm, mm. Do you have any last poem to share?
Oh, last poems.
Mm.
Man, I got a lot of stuff that I found on my Facebook. So if anyone wants to stalk the old me, you can stalk the old me. Is there another question to your last
No,
question?
that was our last question.
The for real last question?
Hmm.
Oh wow, okay. But you asked me if I
You're
wanted to
not
share any
satisfied with it?
followers and
Is there
friends.
something you'd like to address?
Yeah, yes. You asked like what was the final thing I wanted to say to people? What
Oh yes,
message
that's
do
the
I want?
second part of that. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
see,
looking
I
ahead.
told you.
And looking ahead, what do you hope your readers or listeners take away from your poetry and spiritual journey?
Honesty, vulnerability, and sharing, um, and writing. Like you
Mm,
don't have to have any qualification to write. I think it's the best way and possibly a really good way to connect with yourself. I was going to say possibly the only way to connect with yourself, but I don't think
mm,
that's true. But it's a really good way to connect with
mm.
yourself, your inner thoughts. And actually, I'm preparing I don't know what you want to call it, a presentation, a poetry presentation for Temple.
Do you know how happy I was when you said that? Do you know how? Because I've been saying. I remember I wrote to one Mataji who's dealing with the youth in Europe. Actually, they have a beautiful Erasmus inter-country, international kind of setup where they're empowering the youth. I wrote to her about starting an internal open mic poetry circuit. You know,
Ooh,
I was like, we really need that on an international level. What to speak of a national level? So when you said
what
that,
to
I was
speak of
like,
a Durban level, man? Like,
yeah, like that's how it starts. Start a cell there. We start a cell here, and then we meet once in a while. I have a friend who started her poetry journey like that. She was working in government, and she quit her job and just decided, I'm going to become a poet. And now she's an internationally acclaimed writer.
oh
You
my
know,
goodness,
yeah.
that's
And she
so
took
cool.
advantage of the open mic poetry. There's already a circuit. She was
Mm.
just brave enough to quit her job and then go sleep on a friend's couch from couch to couch and attend open
Damn.
poetry circuits and writing workshops.
Don't give me
Yeah.
ideas now.
Right? But we have like temples, we have centers. We have temples
Yes.
around,
We have
and
the resources and we have the
yeah.
people. I just need
Yeah.
to get them writing.
Yeah, sorry
Yeah,
to jump
you
out
got
of bed
excited.
like
It's
that.
okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. Yeah,
Mm.
so I was saying that I'm preparing a presentation on getting people to write for an occasion at Temple, and it's going to come to me. The point will come to me. It was there. Just give me a moment. So, what I wanted to say is like, yeah, there's no qualification for writing, and you don't need to do anything to be called a poet. Like, let me find it because this is going to irritate me. And like, it has to be said. It's so good. It has to be said. Mm. Got it. Open. Getting open. Give me a minute.
No problem.
Okay, what was oh yeah, I was saying that like the importance of writing is that anyone can basically do it, and it's a good way to connect to yourself. And I was saying that it's empowering. Oh yes, this is what I want to say. I didn't write it down. I really should write it down. Okay, but let it be in record. Let it be in record that when you do something, when you say you want to, okay, having a thought and writing it down are two completely different things. It's like saying, oh, I want to chant, I want to do a meditation session and chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. But that's just a thought. It's not actually doing. Oh, it would be nice to read some of Srila Prabhupada's books. It's just a thought. You're not doing anything with your thought. When you write your thought down, that's when you're going to get somewhere. That's like the gateway to getting somewhere. Even if you have a goal, write the goal down, because when it's on paper, it becomes real. When it's in your head, it's just an idea. That's what I want to leave with my followers.
That's dope. I like that smile.
I'm satisfied now. we can end the podcast.
Sweet, yeah. Hey, thank you very much for taking the time to come through and share your wonderful poetry. I really enjoyed it. I really appreciate your story as well. It's very grounding. It's very real, and it like I said, it draws you out. You know.
Vulnerability, my superpower.
It's a superpower. I think we should print T-shirts.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just end out.